Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Vyas with New Wave Wellness Center, and this time we are talking about green tea. I'm going to show you the many benefits of green tea and how and when you should be taking some of this green tea stuff. So we all know that there's the Asian countries like your China and Japan have been consuming green tea for thousands of years, and they've reaped many of the benefits of it. That's one of the big secrets why Japan has one of the highest number of centennials. That's people living to over 100 years of age, is because they consume over 5 to 6 cups on average of green tea a day. So let's talk about some of these benefits. Green tea contains a lot of bioactive components to it. There's something called polyphenols. Polyphenols are very highly anti-inflammatory in nature. They are also cancer fighting. Now, the other thing that it contains is something called catechins. The most studied or the most popular one is something called EGCG. Now, EGCG is very high antioxidative. It's very high in antioxidation. So they've actually shown that it is 100 times more potent than vitamin C in its antioxidation component or values to it. So again, not only does it help with the immune system, but it's actually supporting the oxidative processes in your body or preventing any of those deals. The second thing is something like it actually helps improve your brain function and your brain performance. See, green tea contains caffeine. Now, caffeine is a good thing, again, in moderation, right? So caffeine helps block one of the neurotransmitters and helps stimulate the production of dopamine and norepinephrine. These are neurotransmitters that are more excitatory. So they kind of get your brain firing, but they also help you focus more on your task, get things done, that kind of deal. So those are wonderful for that. Now, it also contains something called L-theanine. L-theanine, again, will help stimulate the production of another neurotransmitter called GABA. Now, GABA, when you have a good amount of that in your brain, has a more of an anti-anxiety feel to it. So wonderful for that. Now, the third one is something that a lot of you might be familiar with, and it's weight loss properties. Green tea, if you've bought any of these weight loss supplements or something, one of the big ingredients nowadays is green tea, because green tea not only boosts your metabolism, but it actually helps your fat metabolism. So it helps you kind of break down fat faster. So that's one of the big things there. It also helps lower your risk of certain types of cancers. Now, cancer is caused by uncontrolled growth of a lot of cells in your body, right? Now, when does that happen? When there's high oxidative stress on the body. If you have too much oxidation going on, it'll cause a lot of this uncontrolled growth of cells, which leads to cancer. So again, because of its high antioxidative properties, your EGCG, it actually helps lower your risk for certain types of cancers. Now, I'll tell you a few things. The research has shown that consuming green tea can lower your risk of breast cancer by 20 to 30%. It lowers prostate cancer risk by 48% and will also help lower your colorectal cancer risk by 42%. That's a significant amount of change that you can have just by consuming green tea. So definitely take that. Now, it also helps protect your brain, right? Again, because of its anti-inflammatory, anti-oxidative properties and all that, it helps people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It'll actually help stop the progression of it, but it actually helps prevent you from getting that. That's one of the big reasons why all these cancers that I mentioned, and even some of these Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and all that, are very low. The population in China and Japan and all that have a very low or almost non-existent with people that have this kind of symptoms or any of these diseases. So again, shows us that maybe we should be consuming a little more green tea. But green tea actually even helps lower your risk for type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is when your body is more insulin resistant. That means your cells have become more resistant to the insulin your body is already producing. Consuming green tea will actually make your cells or your body more insulin sensitive. So that's how it lowers your sugar levels, but it also helps lower your risk for type 2 diabetes. So that's wonderful. Now, because again of its antioxidative and anti-inflammatory properties, it also helps lower your risk for a lot of the cardiovascular issues, your strokes, your heart problems, your hypertension, that kind of deal. It helps lower that. So again, taking some of this stuff, simple deal, will help control most of the major components of major illnesses that we're facing here in America, your diabetes, your cancers, and your heart problems and all this. So why don't we consume a little more green tea? So let's talk about how you should be consuming green tea, or what kind of green tea you should be taking. So green tea is in all, many shapes and forms and all that it comes out in. You want to make sure you're buying a good quality one. As with anything, it's your health. Get something a little bit more higher quality. Don't just buy anything, that you find in the stores or something that way. The big thing is, again, you do not want to be consuming green tea or iced green teas. They say it is better to be consume green tea when it's warm. So how do you make green tea? Well, it's simple. Just a cup of nice hot water, and if you're taking a tea bag, you're going to steep the tea bag in the green tea. Or if you're taking powder, if you put a little bit of a teaspoon of powder of green tea in there, it's supposed to be steeped only for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Anything longer than that, you're not getting the benefits of green tea. They say it can actually be a little more toxic to the body if it's been steeped for longer than that. So make sure that you're only steeping your tea bag in there for 30 seconds to about a minute maximum. After that, take it out and enjoy your green tea. Now, green tea is also supposed to be drunk more fresh, as in like you make it, you consume it then. You don't want to make it then and then consume it, say maybe in the evening or the next day. It again becomes more, or it causes more of a toxicity to the body. So that kind of goes against when you're buying some of these Lipton green teas or stuff that you see in the refrigerated sections. Well, again, who knows when that was made? So if you're consuming it 2-3 months later from when it was made, you're not getting the benefits of green tea. So that's not how you consume it. It's supposed to be the fresh green tea. Consume it then. Now, green tea is also supposed to be had with a meal, right? Not on an empty stomach. They say when you do it on an empty stomach, it causes other issues. It may cause a little bit of heartburn. It can cause some digestive issues, things that way. That's one of the big reasons why if you end up in a Chinese or a Japanese restaurant, you're given green tea before a meal. So it's supposed to be consumed before a meal. So have green tea with a meal, before a meal, that kind of deal, but don't do it on an empty stomach. So don't just have green tea in the morning for breakfast. It's not going to work. So that's one thing. And again, green tea is wonderful. Again, the way I said, there's the matchas and there's so many different options and varieties out there. So find something that works for you. And I definitely recommend, start drinking some green tea. You just notice how many, we just mentioned how many different benefits it has. Those are just a few of them I mentioned. There's tons of different things that it can help with. So consume some green tea. And if you are and you have any questions or anything like that, post them below. And as always, share this information with somebody that may benefit from it. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.